Welcome everyone to Real Talk. This is Nidhi of CraftsyGenes, and I am Claudia of Claudia's Door Decor. This morning we're going to have a conversation and talk to Nidhi about all things wreath business. That is what we do, and that is what she is involved in. So we're going to start by you going ahead and introducing yourself, Nidhi. Give us your location, where you're located, and where we can find you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Nidhi, and I am in Washington State, Seattle area. So if you are around, just let me know. If you're watching me from Washington, I've always call out the people from Washington. It's like I barely get anybody watching me from Washington here. So yes,
And where can people find you on online? So you do have an Etsy store.
I do have an Etsy store, um, and the name of my Etsy store is I was about to say Claudia's Door Decor. Yes,
No,
you
that would
can
not
find
be
it.
where you find her stuff.
It's Crafty Jeans Decor, and if
And that is on Etsy. And your link is in.
my link is in my bio, so you can
Okay.
find me there.
And that is where they can find not only wreaths, but also
The
wreath
balloon,
attachments.
yeah, yes, and it's that's right. But if you want something, I always say that on my live. If you have seen my attachments have, they are not being listed, but you if you want me to work something for you, just message me.
Okay. So let's talk about how did you get started? How did you start making wreaths? Because that's what you started with. You started making wreaths, right?
Yes, I started making reels. So I've been crafty, and that's what my name says, Craftsy Jeans, because I think my mom, she is a painter. She's a crafter. She knows 100,000 things to do, and from that's where I learned. So I grew up watching her doing a lot of creative stuffs around me, and then this is what I've been doing. So I've always been crafty, but I think the wreath making just happened to me during COVID. And I was making wreaths, and that's the time when I was a stay home teacher. So my school shut down, and I was working, and it was difficult because it's no fun if you are pre-K or a preschool teacher or any grade teacher. It is so difficult to teach kids this way, and I was like, okay, I need to do something. And then I started making wreaths, um, and it was it was just for me and for my friends. And I think most of us just starts out like that, right? So it was for me, for my friends, for my school, and we used to do auctions and all that stuff. So that's how it started. And someone just asked me that, can you make one for me? And I was like, yeah, of course. And I was like, okay, you don't have to pay me. I mean, yeah, it's you can have it. And then more people started asking, okay, I saw the wreath on her door, do you make it, do you sell it? She gave me her number. So it started locally, and I wasn't sure that how much to ask, and how can I sell a wreath. And it was all new. So I started looking, and my husband said, yeah, I mean, why not? And was like, I don't know how much to charge. So I was only charging for the materials, and because I didn't know how to charge and how much to ask for, it was like I was not prepared for that. But then I started getting more supplies and buying more supplies, and then I started giving it for my like friends on like for the kids' birthday. So I would make kids, all that fun stuff, and then I started doing that. And but I couldn't stop making wreaths. It was
You
something
couldn't
that
stop. It's
yeah,
addictive.
it is addiction. I was making more and more, and I didn't know what to do with this because yes, I have one for every season, but what else? And I was looking on these ideas online, and I was like, okay, I need to learn more about it. So the thirst was on and on and on, and then I joined lives. I didn't know that. I learned about the wreath community when I started looking and searching on Pinterest and on Facebook, and TikTok was not even close. And So I found so many amazing designers, and I learned from them, and I would love to take their names over here if that's okay. I've learned from Julie's Wreath Boutique. She was the first one I learned, and I also messaged her. I was like, "Okay, you are the first one I've watched," and she was like, "Hey, thank you," and all that stuff. So she's very kind. So Julie's Wreath Boutique, and I tried her style. I made some the flower, beautiful flower wreaths that she makes, and I tried those, and I listed, I think, locally, and then within like 1 week, one of those beautiful rainbow flowers, it sold. I was like, okay, this is getting better. And so I've learned more and more. Then I joined Deco Exchange, not joined, but I was making sure that I catch up every single live of Damon, and I've learned from there. There was a lot of struggle because I didn't know where to start, what to get. I've been looking at all the gorgeous things that other wreath makers were using, and I was like, how do you get it? Because I don't see it in my local store. This is definitely not local. From where do you get it? And then I started looking online because I think the first purchase online was from Deco Exchange. So there I got there. From there, I think there's no looking back. So from there, just started.
All right, so that's basically how you said to yourself, okay, I like doing this, but I know that I need to learn and I need to look into more so that it can guide me. So you shared two of the first, the how you first started and how that guided you. So let's talk about, you already mentioned that you sell locally, you have sold locally, right? How is that working out for you? Is that good for you? Have you figured that out for yourself yet?
No, I haven't not figured that out for myself. It's just for me, honestly. I would say for me, locally is more like the mouth of the word. So word of mouth, friends of friends, they know each other, they go visit, they see the wreaths, and then they contact me. So this is how local happens to me. I have tried a lot of things, but locally, there's no success locally for me. And so I wanting to,
Yet.
yeah,
Yet. You're going to work on that, but not yet.
I've tried that too. I've done two of those shows, but yeah, we can whenever we are
Yeah,
talking.
I'm getting asked if you do craft shows. Have you tried craft shows?
I did twice. It was a lot of work. It didn't work out for me. There were a lot of attention. I was handing out the cards and everything, my visiting cards and all the information possibly. But there was nothing. Like it did nothing to me. It was like a full day thing. Like
It is. It's a lot of work. I agree. It's absolutely a lot of work. So let's talk about the other thing that you talked about, the social media platforms, where you found other creators, where you found the first wreath communities that you found. Where did you find those?
first wreath community. So I didn't even know that we call our community as a wreath community, and I am learning to be a part of that. Facebook. Uh,
Okay.
so as I said, Deco Exchange. I found Deco Exchange. I learned so many things. I've asked like 1,000 questions to everybody, and I got most of the answers
Okay.
from Deco Exchange, and that's why I cannot just stop talking about Deco Exchange all the time. So everybody from there, Damon especially, and then I think I Tammy and all that, whoever I was possibly was able to catch up on their lives. I made sure that and because I was craving to learn more and more. Um, and I think that's when I started, and I subscribed for my wreath supply box. So I remember the first time I got my resupply box, and it made so much of a difference in my crafting because I didn't know. I was just for my science. Honestly, I was just hunting locally on these, and I didn't know that they were like signs made for. So it was all of a new. It was a learning journey for me when I opened my first resupply box. And I was like, okay, these are beautiful. Now, how do you use it? Because I've been watching everybody using those signs and all that stuff. I wasn't sure. And I was very, very skeptical about ordering all this stuff because I didn't know, I didn't have a customer base. So I didn't know that what's going to happen and how do you price these things and how do you use these in your designs. So this is what happens. So if you watch a designer, if you learn the style and if you love their style, I think stay with your designers, learn from them. They help us teach so much and they help us grow, and I think the only intentions they have is to support us. So if you have a favorite designer, I would say that, do learn from others too, but if you have a style that I would say that matches with other style, or if you like a style of a designer and if you want to learn more and more, there are so many groups too, right? That we can join. And this is how I learned. I was part of so many groups, and I'm still am,
All
and
right,
I'm
let's hold off on that because I do want to help people, figure that out for themselves and show them and to take them on that journey and it makes sense now because I didn't know you were a teacher, but it makes sense that you're a teacher. So what did you teach? Like when you were teaching, what did you teach?
teaching like kids teaching.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a pre. I like I'm not working anymore. But I'll always be a pre-K teacher. So
You know,
I
I was a pre-K teacher too.
really I didn't know
Yes,
that.
exactly. So that's why I was like, that makes so much sense because of you are a very easy person to watch and learn from because of how you do what you do, which I love, which I absolutely love. But I did not know that about you. But that makes sense to me. So as a teacher, when you are a teacher, you know that if you're watching somebody that is designing, you know whether or not they are a natural teacher or not because of the way that they design, right?
Right.
You can tell. So that's what she's talking about. When you have a designer that you can learn from, that you know you're learning from, she's sharing to support those designers. Know that their intention is to support you in their designing so that they can help you also grow. Okay? And something else that I didn't know is I didn't know that you subscribe to the wreath boxes.
Yes, I did. And I did in the beginning, but then there was a time when it was hard for my business and all, and I decided I can't do any subscriptions and I withdraw all my subscriptions back. But I really want to, and I'm in the wait list, just so you know. And I
But you found value in that, especially when you were starting to get
right.
the supplies of everything that already goes together,
Mhm. Right.
right?
Yeah.
That was valuable to you, and that's awesome to know. So that was Deco Exchange, and it was their supply boxes that they offer. Okay. All right. So I've got a whole list of questions and conversations. So I'm reading through to be sure that you haven't already answered. Um, okay. So you are now on TikTok. You now go live on TikTok. Okay. When did you start that?
I would say a few months ago. It's not very I think September, if I'm not wrong. So it's been just a couple of months.
October, November, December, guys.
Yep.
And she gets a couple of hundred people watching her now when she goes live. I've been
Sometimes.
there. I've seen her numbers. Okay. So do you go live on any other platform?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. All right. So what has going live done for your business?
Um, so what has worked?
No, what is going like you've gone live for a few months now on TikTok, right? And have you seen growth in your business because you're going live?
Well, yes. I would suggest everybody, I would like to encourage everybody, please start going live. So, first, I'm not talking about just first live. Like, I was there, and I clearly remember who all were there. Laurel was there. Laurel was the one who started talking to me, and I think, Claudia, you were there too, if I'm not wrong. So I do remember these two amazing, wonderful ladies who were on my very first live. And I was, in the beginning when I was posting my reels, I was not sure if I need to put my
Hold on, she got a call coming in. Hold on. Okay, let's see if she can talk again.
yeah. So
Okay.
my lives were just with the pictures of my designs or the videos of my designs. But then gradually, I think once, like one day, I decided that I don't know, like it is so difficult to see because sometimes when I see everybody's work and I also want to see the face of the creator. I was like, okay, I think it's time. I need to put my face. Not that I was trying to hide or anything, but it's like just I wasn't sure. It's like social media. So and I did that, and I was happy. I was like, okay, this is working out. Just it just made me happy. It's like, okay, this is good.
So
And
going live and posting yourself on your videos and on your posts when you post them. Those are two things that she shared has made a difference in her business.
true. And I would just say, still when I go live and I still see somebody like one of the mentors that I have been watching and learning from them, sometimes when they hop in, I still get nervous. I was like, okay, they're watching me, and like that's genuine feeling that you have that. So I still get nervous. So it's not that I do not get anxieties and I do not get nervous. Still, that I've been doing it for like just 2 or 3 months, 3, 4 months, and it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to mess up. I think every single live I mess something or the other, and it's okay. Like this is how it is. Like we all mess up in our craft room, so it's all right. It's okay. So I would just suggest just be you. If you're silly, if you're goofy, just be yourself. If you're serious, it's okay. If you're not a talker, I used to say before, I'm not a talker, I'm not a talker. And then one day I was editing my reel and I was like, oh my God, I will not say that again, that I'm not a talker. Most of the times I was, and I was like editing, I was like seriously, I am such a talker. Like I do talk. I don't know if it just happens because I'm live now more, but if you're not a talker, it's okay. You don't have to talk, right? Just
You
play some
don't.
nice music. Just
Yeah,
enjoy.
you don't.
It's okay. And
Okay, so
people
here's
will
something. So
will get to
people
talking.
have shared in my life how sweet you are and how they could tell that you were a teacher because of your sweet demeanor and your voice. Like watching you talk to your daughter is absolutely the sweetest thing in the world.
Oh, thank
But here's
you.
another thing that we've noticed about you is that you're always so kind. You are always so kind, and you are yourself. You are fully yourself, and we love that about you. I mean, the other day somebody said that it was their birthday and her live turned into a party. She turned her live into a birthday party for a fellow wreath maker. And that was amazing to me. I'm like, how sweet is that? How celebrated did that person feel in that moment of going into Needy's live and celebrating her birthday? So we love you for that. We absolutely love you for that. For anybody that isn't following Needy, all you have to do is click on her side of the screen and hit follow. You need to follow this lady. She's a lot of fun to watch and she's always so kind. Okay, here's something else that I want to talk because I want to encourage other people to go live because a lot of people say, okay, I got to my 1,000 followers, but I don't have the equipment. I don't have anything to set my phone up on. I don't have a ring light. What do you recommend, Needy? Would that be something that would you tell somebody, oh, don't do it then? Or would you say, hey, do it anyway? Like, what would you
How
recommend?
does it matter? It does not. It doesn't matter. When I remember my first live, I had nothing. My phone was just staying on the back of one of these things, one of my zippers. You can use anything. You do not have to go fancy. And it's okay because it's not about how much things we have or how we want to look. It's all about what you're doing, and it's just that you want to put yourself out there. That's all is the motive behind going live. It doesn't matter. It will happen if you want to ring light, whatever. It will happen when you're ready. it'll happen. I mean, it's just a click away. You can go click on Amazon, but only if you are ready. If you are not ready, if you don't want to spend on that stuff, you do not have to. It
You
is
really
not,
don't.
it is not
You really don't. And
necessary.
the thing is, and the thing is we all have to do things scared. If you have a fear of doing something, it's because it matters. Do it anyway. Do it scared.
Do
Do
it
it
anyway.
anyway.
Just
We
do it.
Needy is a big example of that. A big example of that. So here's a story for you. My first time watching Needy. She came up on my For You page, and a lot of people have had that happen. Like a lot of people said, I found Needy. She was in my For You page. Okay. So a lot of people have been exposed to a lot of us through their For You page. I came across, and her head was down. She was working on a gingy. She was working on one of her gingerbread people. I don't know if it was the man or the woman, but she was making an attachment and she was taking her sweet time. Every now and again, she'd look up at her camera. Nobody was commenting in her live. And I'm like, what is happening here? She is amazing. So here comes Claudia because if I'm gonna come into your live and you're not having conversation, I'm the big mouth that's gonna come in and be like, hi, hello, I love what you're doing. Let's talk. So I sat there forever. And as long as she was going to be on, I was going to be sitting with her. And I was tapping the screen and I was sharing her live and I was just making her feel like she can do this. Like, you need to stay here. You do not need to give up. You're doing a great job. I love what you're doing. Okay. I love what you're doing. You need to be here. You belong here. I want to see more of you. And that was just a few months ago. And look at her now. I am so proud of you for not giving up.
You. Thank you. And I think one of someone, the Crafty Queen by Flowers. She said, reach 1,000 and scared to go live. Please don't. Message if you are planning on going live the first time, you can message me. You message Claudia. You can message whoever. If you have friends from this community, please message us, and we will be there for you. I know that the first step is difficult, but once you take your first step, there is no looking back. You'll have lots of fun. After my first live, like during my first live, I was nervous. My hands were shaking. I made sure in my head that I'll have everything around me when I need it. My kids were popping in. I was so nervous. Like, don't come, don't come, don't. Like, I was like, don't come in my life. Like, I was scared. Like, I was scared for myself. I don't know why I was scared. Just as you say that you're scared. I don't know why. And that feeling is genuine. We all get scared. The first time you do anything, it makes you nervous. And you don't know. Now, look, everybody hopping in my life. My girl sit and play music. She fall down. She get hurt. She cries. I don't care. It's okay. I do say sorry. I apologize. It's okay. It's a disturbance, but it. But it's life too. You
But
cannot
it's
do
life and
it.
it's real and life happens. So, really quick, I have Eric from the Perfect Peace, Texas saying, Crafty Jeans, I've watched you. Keep it up.
Oh,
Keep
thank
it up.
you.
So, you're doing great, especially when other people who have been doing this so much longer than we have, they encourage us. They tell us, don't give up, keep going, keep doing it. I appreciate it. Hi, honey. So I'm so happy that there are new people coming into the community, that we can all encourage each other, that we can all do this and be there for one another and learn from each other. That's the biggest thing that I take away from this is we all have something a little bit different, that we do tricks, tips a little bit different, and it inspires others, right? Right?
Absolutely. So, and there's a lot of people who are saying that they are still scared. It's anxiety and nervousness. It is okay to be nervous.
Yes.
Everybody does get nervous. So you're not the only one. I bet Claudia, you were nervous when you came.
Very.
Right? I
Yep.
cannot tell you, my hands were like, my glue gun was literally shaking because I was like, okay, these many people are watching me. Nobody's talking. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Do I, like, because I always seen people talking. and people will ask them questions and they'll go. And my first live was like 1 hour or 2 hour long. I don't remember exactly, but it was not too long. Now I go like 5 hours straight sometimes. And
I
I,
know, it's crazy. You go from like, I don't want to be here because nobody's talking to me, to now it's like I'm just gonna do my thing and whoever comes comes and whoever leaves leaves and it doesn't matter.
yeah, that's right. And I would just say that I do not do a lot of preparations. I am working towards it, because I don't have, I'm the place that I work from right now is just a one of my room in the middle of my media room. My craft supplies is they all my supplies, they are in a different room. And I was very nervous about that too, that okay, how do I do it, because I need so many things. Sometimes, no matter how much prepared you are, when you're crafting, you will need something that is not around you, or you'll keep on losing stuff that is, right. And I do lose so many things. I was like, okay, where is this? And then I just start looking, and people's like, look there, under the table, over there, over here. So it's fun. It's a part of being live, and it's okay. If you can be prepared, that's awesome. But if you cannot, that's okay too. I leave my life for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm like, I'll be back.
She does. She does. She goes, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. And then
Yeah,
she
I'll be back,
goes.
guys. I need this. I will be back. And I do run around every single live. I do run around here and there, everywhere in my house. And everybody goes like, okay, she's running because I'm running here, grabbing that. I'm running there, grabbing that. And I was like, okay, I'm back. And I was like, oh no, I forgot that again. I'll be back. And it's okay. So if people are really watching you, they enjoy watching you, they will be there. If they need to go, they will go. It's okay. You cannot stop anybody. We are not here to grab on people, to hold on people. We are there to, just because you want to have fun. Whoever has time, if they're available, they'll be there. If they're
Right.
busy, if they don't, it's okay.
Being authentic. Eric even said it. Being authentic is the best thing. Be true to you. No live has to be perfect. That's what he said, right? And we say that all the time too. Perfection is too hard, guys. Nobody is meant to be perfect. And how much more relatable is someone to you when they're not perfect? How much more relatable is somebody when you're just like, you know what? She is so real and so herself and so comfortable. I can do that. I can do that. I think a lot of the fear, honestly, guys, and check yourself with this, is the fear of going live because you feel like you have to perform.
That is such a right term you have used, Claudia. Performance pressure. Is that what you feel? Because you are working. Sometimes when other, if you remember, if you're watching me, if you were there on that live, I was doing one of the balloons and I was making bow. And it was
Oh,
very simple, small bow, and I was not able to make it.
you stopped. You stopped, didn't you? And you said, you know what? This is not going to work right now. It's just not going to work right now.
And I'm not talking about the huge bows that we all make and we mess up and all that stuff. It
Yep.
was this little bow that needs to go on one of these balloons, and I think I don't know what happened, and I was not able to. And there was everybody, and I remember I was making it for Tarnation's Creations.
Yeah, Lindsay.
And
Yep.
yes, and Lindsay go like, it's okay, I can do it, Nidhi. It's okay, don't worry about it. Just send the balloon like this. I was like, no, it's not about the bow. I know I can do it, but it's just sometimes it happens. And I was like, okay, this is not the time. I put everything away. I was like, okay, I need to break from that bow. And so I stopped, and then when I was not live, or next morning, or I don't know when, I did it like in 2 seconds. Like, okay, done. So it's okay. And I do take breaks all the time. So when I'm live, I do not take breaks. Like, of course, I do take breaks, run around and drink water and chat with you. But honestly, I always say that on my live, I am a slow crafter. I take time. I think, I take things out. I put things 100 times here and there. I mess up. And when I was not live, I was not creating my wreaths when I was live. I'm very easy to get distracted, like very easily. Like if I'm watching TV, I will just sit and just watch TV. So my reads will take like from somewhere from 1 hour to 5 hours or 6 hours or on and on because I am here running here and there, and then I was like, okay, oh my God, this is the only last thing I have. Okay, I need to order, and then I leave everything and I'll go and placing order. From there I'll go somewhere else. From there, and then I was like, okay, this is already midnight. I need to finish it. So, and it's
So
okay to
it's
take
that
hours.
focus, right? So
Focus.
we call it being a squirrel, right? We call it being a squirrel because we're over here, we're over there, we're over here, we're over there. And honestly, I relate to that. I'm undiagnosed ADHD, but all my friends will tell you Claudia lives in her own world and somehow she makes everything happen. Everything happens, right? But it works for me. Like I've learned to live with that and I make it work for me, right? And I love that you are so self aware that you talk about it. You talk about it. You're like, this is how I create a wreath. 'Cause I think you've talked about that the whole time I've known you. You've always said, I am not a fast crafter. Okay. It takes me time, but that encourages others that have that same thing going on where they are not completing a wreath in one sitting. It takes them time, but it gives others permission to do that as well, to be like, it's okay.
It's
It's okay.
absolutely okay. It's okay. And I think some of us also gets, worried about going live and crafting because we need time. And sometimes like my bow making will, so I if I have to make one bow, I'll bring like 20 ribbons.
Yes.
And I do in front of everybody. Okay, this is okay. I have so many right now. I don't know what to do. Let's try this, and it's okay to take time. So I think some of us are just worried that we might take longer than what we do, or it won't look nice on the camera if we are taking forever. It's okay. Just be there. Just put yourself out there. Yeah, that's me, right? So it is like that. We all are like that. And if you're watching those designers, they've been doing that for a long, long time. They are trained. They are teachers. So it is different for them. That and it is different for us. We are not riding the same boat. You'll get there when you'll be crafting for 20 years and teaching for 20 years. That'll be different for us.
It is
Honestly.
like it's gonna take me 20 years, where it takes some people 5, it takes me 20 because it takes time.
Because I am slow. So it's gonna take 20 years to me. But honestly, it'll happen to us too. If only if we are consistent and if we are working for it. It'll happen. Things will happen. I have seen many changes in myself, the way I used to craft before, my first wreath, and the way I craft now. It is different. I wouldn't say that it's amazing and that's what I need to learn. I still say every time I'm learning. When someone ask me that, do you teach? I was like, no, I do not teach. I'm learning, but there are so many other teachers out there. I do not teach. I can only teach 4 and 5 years old. I can't teach
That's
the
not
grown up.
that's not true. That's not true. It may not be part of your current situation or journey, but I can see you teaching because you're so patient. Because you're so patient, I think people could learn from you. So don't say I only teach 4 and 5 year olds. It's that soft demeanor that would make you a fantastic teacher because of your level of patience. Okay, so don't take that off of the plate at all. Don't tell yourself that you're not a teacher, but I understand sharing with people, hey, this is where I learned. This is who taught me. This is where I learned. I appreciate that. And we share those people with others because I said that if it wasn't for my taking all of these pop-up classes, a lot of designers do pop-up classes that you can sign up for. That elevated my design because of those pop-up classes. Okay, so there's always a way to learn. Let's go back to your craft room situation because that is one of the things that you and I talked about in our pre-interview. It's several weeks ago now. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks ago now that we first talked about you coming and joining me. And you had said that one of the things that kept you from wanting to have these type of conversations was the fact that you don't currently have a craft room, that you do have stuff in different parts of your home. So that was something that you had to conquer for yourself in order to go live. So give us some encouragement, something that new people that don't have a place that they can go live from because they feel like they have to have a full craft room to go live. Let's talk about that.
Yes. So I would just say Mama S said over here that I've learned how to make candy bars from you, Nidhi. Oh, thank you. So, yes, craft room. I do not have a craft room, guys. I work from so I'll just tell right now that I do different kind of crafts. Not only wreaths, I do wreath attachments now more often. Before it was just for me, but now I've that started selling them out on Etsy. I do attachments. I do wreaths. I also do fake bakes. I've not been doing it. I need to get back. And my fake bake center, my table is my kitchen island because that's where I have a lot of space and I can work, and I will be starting doing that soon. But my craft room
On camera?
on camera, yes, I can. I totally, yes, that is something I can really do.
Yes, 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 yes.
But my craft room, I don't call it a craft room. I call it my craft area because I do not have a craft room, and that was also one of the reasons why I was nervous going lives. Like, I don't have a place. I don't have a dedicated place, and it does not have to be a place that you do not have to have a craft room. I mean, it is a luxury if you have a craft room, but not we don't we not all of us have that luxury. But you'll make it happen now that I will have a craft room soon because I convinced my husband that he's giving up his office. Because now that he's going back to work. So it took time for me. I've been crafting from my entertainment room, and I'm still am. My setup is just too messy. I cannot show you, but it's still there. I'm still sitting in my media room, and my table, which is a portable table, it's a foldable table, and it is just sitting right between the TV and the couch, and I just go live. My lights and everything is right there in the middle. So my room is, and I do clean sometimes. Sometimes I do cleaning when I have. When we plan to watch a family, when we have a family night, I put everything away, and room is nice. You'll not even figure out if it's I do something or crafts or everything goes out. If I have guests coming over, I have to clean my space because the kids run around and we watch as friends and families. We do come here. So if you're wondering that from where you can start, you can just, if you have a table, if you have a kitchen counter, you can start from there. If you have a dining table, if you can start from there. You do not have to have a perfect place to go live. Nobody cares.
They don't, guys. They really, really don't. What they care about is that they get to see somebody, a creative, create. That is what they enjoy. They enjoy getting to know the creator. They get to see something that interests them, something that, they're trying to learn. And that's why it's important that more of you get past that fear and come join us. Reef Boulevard needs more neighbors. Reef Boulevard, which is what I call, TikTok has many different streets.
Right.
We have
He's good
Tumblr
at it. I love
Alley,
that.
Reef Boulevard, we have t-shirt designs, we have all kinds of things. But we need more of you all joining us and sharing your talents so that you can also inspire others to do the same thing. Guys, there are so many doors, walls, homes that we can all decorate. This is not a competitive thing. This is a collaboration thing. This is something that we want to see everybody being good at. All right, so we talked about craft room. We talked about how you get started and everything else. But the inspiration, like, because you have to decide to do this every day. You have to decide that, yes, I'm going to continue to push forward every day. What keeps you inspired? What keeps you inspired?
Uh, So once it is just a part of your life. When you are a crafter, you'll find time to craft, right? Because this is what you need, what you crave for, what your interest is. So for me, crafting is calming. So when I am at craft room, when I'm crafting, it just settles me down. It makes me happy, right? It's a part of me now. So just like that, going live, I would say it's a part of me now. Not every day. Now, I would just say I do not go live every single day. I try to, but there are times when I'm busy with my family. I have other commitments. I just don't go live. I will say that, okay, I'll be live tomorrow, but then there's no show up. And then I have had people saying that, are you coming live? Because I'm waiting for you. And I was like, okay, bummer. I'm sitting at my friend's house. I can go live today. And it's okay. Like, you don't have to if you have a schedule. I don't have a schedule. I am home taking care of two kids. Everybody's home. I have my mother-in-law home. So, it's just not, I don't have a schedule right now. But if you can work on a schedule, it is nothing better than that. But if you cannot, it's okay. It's all right. You come live whenever you want to. If you don't want to be live every single day, you don't have to. But I would just encourage everybody that, because I think the viewers who have liked or who want to learn, or who like, whose interest or who's following you, they would like to watch you. So just go live. I would say just put one step in front of the other and just go on and on and on, like every day. If you cannot spend 1 hour every day, it's okay, just be there, come up, do something, make your read base and say, okay, that's it for
Or
today.
say hi,
Or just
or
say
just say
hi.
hi.
Yeah,
Hi,
just say
guys. I'm not crafting today. I'm not feeling it, but I wanted to say hello.
hi.
That's what Claudia's been doing lately because I've been fixing, creating space, doing different things in my craft area, and going live right now is a chore. Like I'm like, it is hard for me to go live right now. And somebody in my chat, Tarnation Creations, Lindsay says, it's so hard to have a schedule with little ones. Okay, so you need to do what works for you. That is what Nidhi is sharing with you. Do what works for you and make that okay. Just make that okay. And if you say you're going to go live tomorrow and for some reason something comes up and you can't, that's okay too. That's okay too.
Yeah, we are all
Right,
human.
Nidhi?
Absolutely, I do mess up. So this is how I say I mess up, and it's okay to be you, because you don't know what, if your family needs you. Of course, our priority is our family. So if you need time, and we have a different family that we are building over here on TikTok, so you have to find time for both of these families. But sometimes it is hard to ride that boat, and if you have time, it's good. If you don't, and we all understand, if we don't see you, yes, we might message you, hey, we don't see you, what's going on, but it's okay.
Because we care. Because we care. Not because it's like, hey, you haven't been online. Where are you? No, it's like she said, we're building a family. A community is a family, right? We're building a family. We care. We see that you're not here. Are you okay? Like that type of thing. And I love that she said, called it family. So I always say, this is something I've always said, you just need one cheerleader. You just need one person. Like you don't need a bunch of people. You just need one person to say, you're doing a great job. I see you. I support you. Okay. Having that one person, that's all you need to continue. That's what inspires me. So in your journey, Needy, in your journey, what have you found has been the thing that keeps you like when it's a hard day? Because there are hard days. When it's a hard day, how do you handle that day?
I go to bed. No, just kidding. So if when you are having a hard day, I would just say go with the flow. This is my favorite saying. If you feel like, if you can do it, take a break. It is very important for us as a human being to take breaks, like as a mother, as a wife, as just being an individual or whatever profession you are in. It is tiring out there. If you are working, it is not easy. If you're a stay-at-home mother, it is the most difficult job. So take a break. It is very important to take a break. I take breaks. If I don't feel like crafting today, I don't put that pressure on me, and that's the beauty of having a small business, right? If you need a break, if you have vacation days, if you feel like, okay, I am going on a vacation, do it for yourself. Self pampering is very important. Take care of yourself. I love going on shopping. Like, shopping is another thing that I love. I am a shopaholic. And I do go outside, and if I don't feel like, okay, I don't want to sit, I just grab my bag and my keys and I go. And not that I will go out and I'll bring bunch of stuff outside. I need to be out. I need to go. I sometimes go out with my friends. I sometimes go out. If I don't feel like doing anything, I'll just go to Hobby Lobby. I'll go to Michael's. I go to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, wherever. I just go look at different stuff, get some ideas, get inspired, and get back. And this is what I do, honestly. I take breaks, and taking
She
breaks.
does retail therapy, and retail therapy does not mean
You
go
need to
spend
go.
money. She gets
Yeah, go spend money.
inspired.
Right.
There's a difference.
I I like to shop. I do like to shop, but also sometimes I just go hang out. We all need some fresh air. Fresh air away from our craft area, fresh air from our family. Sometimes we do. We take a lot of stress as caregivers. We need that break. So whatever works well for you, go. If you like to go out, watch movie, go watch movie. Whatever. If for you, if taking break means just sitting home and watching and doing nothing, get into a cozy blanket, do that.
But self-care, absolutely, 100% agree with you. 100%. Because going live, doing what you love shouldn't feel like a chore. It
No, it should
shouldn't
not.
feel like a
It
chore.
should come from within. And if going live is not your thing, then don't push yourself. Don't just do it because everybody's asking you to be live, or if you think that, okay, I'm not comfortable doing it, don't do it. It's okay. You'll figure out something else. So, as much as I would encourage everybody to go live, I would also say just be you. If you think that it is not your thing and you're not comfortable doing it, give yourself some more time. Try again after some time and see if that makes you feel better. Message us, message me, message Claudia. I know Claudia is super supportive. Message
I am.
people that you know that's gonna be there, and I can guarantee I would be there, no matter what is the time difference. I'll try to be there. Um, just let us know that, hey, I'm going on my first live. I'm nervous. Can you be there for me? And we'll try our best to make you come, make you go and talk to you so that you don't feel like, okay, you're not like me when Claudia and when Lorette wasn't there. So
But
it's a hard
but
step.
that's the thing. I have always told people that if you go into somebody's life that is struggling, that you can see is struggling to be live, be that person for somebody. Be that person for somebody that says, I see you, you're not alone. I'm not going to let you sink on this ship. I'm going to tap that screen. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to do all the things, even if it's just me and you having a conversation. That's okay. That's okay. But we're going to get through this together.
Oh, so this is also a good thing. If you don't have to craft anything, if you're live for the very first time, you can just go and sit and see what's happening, who all are coming in. And you can introduce yourself that, hey, this is my first live, I'm nervous. And before you know, there'll be a lot of people supporting you. So it's
Because you're
showing,
honest.
yeah,
Because you're honest. Yep,
you're
I
honest.
agree.
So being
All
you,
right.
be honest.
So here's you talked a little bit about finding your own style. You talked a little bit about figuring that out for yourself. So some people like, what does that actually mean, finding your own style? Because you feel like, okay, so there's a wreath recipe. Let's just go with the whole thing, okay? There's a wreath recipe. A wreath recipe basically says you're using this size mesh, you're cutting it to this length, you're using this size ribbon, cutting it to this size, and then you're putting it all together to make something. So what does it mean to figure out your own style when you're following a wreath recipe?
I would say so. When I was starting out, I I was following lot. I'm still am because I learned from them. And every crafter has their own style. Every designer has their own style. And once you learn about your designer or you learn about your mentor, you don't have to go and look at the name. You'll see the design and you can tell that this is by that designer. And I have so many designers that I follow, I love, I adore, and I when I see the work, I say, okay, this is from her, this is from her. Like, it is, every designer has their own style. So I think it is also very important to find your own style. It'll take time. Maybe for the way that I was working, I was making wreaths in the beginning. It's different from how I'm working right now. So it is also important and to me, there's no recipe. Like, I would say,
Okay.
um, it's just that sometimes I want to work this way, or when I see attachment or a sign, I go like, okay, I want to make it a grape wine, or I would like to use it in a mesh, or I would just keep it very simple. So it all will come to you when you start learning about your own style. For me, when I started out, it was different. I felt that I was copying designers, and I didn't wanted that. It's like, okay, this is just merely copying. So the designers that are teaching us, they are teaching us to get started. If you like following the pattern, by all means do that. But if you are not, if you want to explore yourself, you can totally do that. It doesn't matter that you have to stay with one recipe. Try different recipes. There are 100,000 designers, and they all have their own style.
That is so true, though. It is so true. And she's right, guys. So yes, that's a way to start learning. Absolutely, that's the way to start learning. And what she's encouraging you to do is, if you don't like things, like, I don't like that, like, I don't like the way that looks, change it. Do it different. Do you, is what she's saying.
And I will also say that over here. Just like to mention that I do have. Hello, hi Max. I have different things. I have wreaths that's been sitting in my closet or storage and didn't sell out. And when I see that today, I see, oh, okay, I this needs a lot of work, because because it is not your style anymore. You have grown, or you have learned so many new skills that from your past year, and then you can make that difference to your own designs. So I would just suggest that watch designers, go on people's live, learn from them if you can. If you can, there are so many other designers. They have their classes. Take those classes. They teach us. They are there to help us out, right? They are business coaches, right? Right, Claudia? There are so many different coaches.
Right, but since you touched on that, since we've been almost an hour in, let's go ahead. So the question that I wrote down to talk about right now is, you shared that you have been part of groups, like you have actually subscribed to groups and been part of groups. So can you share, like, the groups that you have been a part of, and the ones that you decided, because you shared with me one that you were part of and then decided, that's really not my style anymore. Like, I think I figured out what I'm more geared towards, so I'm going to change the group that I'm in. Can you share those groups and why you changed and all of that stuff, just for you and your journey?
So I'm just talking about myself, not that I am trying to take names or anything. It is not. It is how it happened to me, and I'm just learning. And it is my journey. So I'm just sharing my journey that I learned. So for wreath making, Julie is my inspiration. Julie's from Julie's Wreath Boutique. I love her style, and that's when the first time I went to go buy mesh was because of her. So she is why I'm here, why I'm a part of Wreath community. So I totally owe her a lot of, and she is the inspiration. But when I was making, I figured out that this is not my style. I would like to learn more. And so I joined, I remember I joined Deco Exchange, but it was live. I'd never subscribed, I never got any of the classes, but I got the supply box from them. I was making sure I have every single live to catch, and I was learning so much. I still have notes in my diary which says ribbons 12 inches, 14 inches, how to make bow, how much, how, how big is going to be the first loop and then second loop. I have written down everything. So I've learned from there. So Deco Exchange, my second teacher. Then I joined Babam Reads from Amy. That completely changed my style of working, because if you follow Bamam Reads, you'll know her style is amazing. She has her own style of crafting, and I've learned from her a lot. So some of that I do, it's from Babam Exchange. Some of her touches, and some of that I do by myself. But so that's her, and then that was that was also the time when I pulled out all my subscriptions, and it was hard, COVID and all that stuff. But I am a part again. I am in Candy's group. I'm a part of Candy's creations, so I'm learning from her and her team. I'm also a part of wreath attachment group, which is knock your socks off on Facebook. So from there, I learned how to make attachments. I'm also a part of fake baking, that is glitz and glue, and I think it's been a while that I'm a part of her group. So I'm a part of three groups, three interests of mine, three things I like to do. I'm a part of every other group, and you do not have to follow like each time when you learn from them. And I say that start, if you are still learning what is your design, start watching. They have not, so everybody that I'm mentioning you, they have their free videos too on YouTube. You do not have to go and pay right now because we are asking you to go watch them. They have free videos. Watch them. They do share a lot on YouTube, on their pages, and just follow them and follow the designers and learn from them and see if that's what exactly you want to learn from them, if this is what you're looking for. If not, then every designer will teach you something. I would
Yes.
say every person. I'm not okay. Let's just say this in a way. Not a designer. I learn from every single person, and I absorb from every single person the things I need to do, the things I do not need to do. Like, then you will go watch someone, and or just you heard something that is not good. You will say, okay, this is exactly I don't want to do it because how you felt about it. so if if that's so, we learn from every person. I just say, as a teacher too, I tell this to my co-teachers, to my families, that I am learning from your 4-year old too. They are not here to learn from me. I learn from them so many different things every single day, and I miss being a teacher right now. And I miss, uh, being around those little, because those are so pure soul. You'll learn from them. So if we can learn from little kids, if we can learn from our own kids, why don't we learn from the people around you? So just be watchful, be mindful of the people who you are surrounded with. If you need if you think that that's not you want to be for a longer run, just take that step and step out of that group, or step out of that, make some space. So learn from every single person. I would just say I learn from every single one.
But this is why we want to be voices for those that are struggling to go live, that are questioning whether they have anything to offer. The answer is yes. You have a lot to offer this community. You have a lot to offer your own business, because this is how you market yourself. This is how people get to know you, because they can't walk into your business. If your business is online, guess what? You need to be online so that people can get to know you. This is how you market yourself. That is why we want to encourage you. We want to let you know that there is a whole community behind you that is going to encourage you, because as Nidhi said, and the same is for me, I'm learning from you. I'm learning about you. I'm learning from you. We are all in this together. You are not alone in this. All right. So we're going to bring up, because everybody wants to talk about wreath attachments. So I talked about one of my very first times talking to you, right? And talking about how I was not going to leave you alone in your life while you were doing your wreath attachment and not have anybody talking to you. Okay?
Right.
So I stayed in your life and helped basically continue conversation with you. So your wreath attachment that I was watching, I was so taken in because of your detail, how detailed you were, and the time you were taking in that attachment. You do this every single time you go live. Do you enjoy sharing all the details of what you're doing?
Details, I would just say so for me, my crafting style is something that if I do not see it done, I'll just keep going on and on and on. I think it is just the way I craft. If I see that this is not perfect, it needs more, I just go add more and more and more. And I think every single craft needs some time. And if you have time to give to your crafts, it's gonna be perfect, at least to you. For my wreath making attachments, I think everybody's saying we like to see more of your wreath attachments. I do very simple wreath attachments, guys, and I would love to share the attachments that I learned from different groups, but this is a part of a policy I can't. I can't show how I learned from them because they are their designs, they're not my designs, right? So I'm just trying to copy their designs when I sell them. But I am more than happy the designs that I do onto a lot of simple designs. So mine are very simple. I'm just Google print it out and do it. But I'm more than happy to do more designs when I'm live. Unfortunately, I just cannot show you the designs that I'm learning from different groups. That's just so.
Right. So she's being respectful and responsible. Being part of these groups, she's doing exactly what the creators have asked her not to do. So I understand that, and that I can respect that. But you did share what group they could join to learn. Knock your socks off? All right. All right. So I have seen several of your hot air balloons and your hearts showing up on other designers' pages. How does that feel for you to have something that you designed and now other creators are designing and you get to watch that? How does that feel?
It feels amazing. I feel that I'm at cloud nine, but I also want to clarify that hot air balloon is not my original. It is. I'm just being honest, and I do not know who designed it, who put that hot air balloon out in the market. I do not know. I did not learn it from my group. It's just something that as designers sometimes, or as budding creators, we do look for inspirations everywhere. And thanks, Lindsay. And I was looking for ideas that what I can design, and this is not this year. I designed hot air balloon last year too, but it was just one design that I made, and I didn't get to use it. I designed it, and one of my clients, she saw it. I shared a picture with her, and she's like, "Oh, I want it," and I just gave it to her. And I never created another one. So I had this idea. I did this previous year, but honestly, I would love to give the credit. If you know that person, please let me know. I would love to give credit to her. This is not my original design. I saw one of my designers. I saw um, Reads by Waldo. So I was watching her lives, not lives, I was watching her reels, and I saw in one of her designs, she used the hot air balloon, and it was in a different season. And I had a sign that says "Love is in the air," the one that is right here, right? And I was like, okay, this is perfect. I did it last year. I can make it. So the combination was different. The style was different. Hers was different. and I just did it in my own colors with my little designs on it. So it is slightly different, but it is not my original thing. So I would not like to have the credit for I don't like I would I would love to give the credit to the person who originated this design. And if you know that person, please let me know
Well,
because
that's
I'm
very
getting all
humble
the
of
love
you
from this.
and shows your authenticity and how honest you are. You are very honest about it. What about the hearts that you make?
Yeah, those are mine. Those are mine. Well, I've been making those hearts. So all the hearts and the balloons I started them last year. So I used the hearts and I put them in my designs and they did really well pre last year for me. And I just wanted to create something similar. And I made that. So hot air balloon and the heart was that what I made for my own designs. And I just made the reel and I was like, okay, which one do you like the most? And then everybody commented hot air balloons and hearts. So they both are, and they did really well. So
Have you gone viral?
I don't know. I'm getting a lot of orders. So I don't know, but I did get a lot of orders.
And you also have been gracious enough to do colors, themes, and everything based on what people are looking for, which has been amazing to watch because that takes a lot of talent to accommodate other people's colors and everything else. So I love that. I think it's fantastic. I think that's amazing. And you should go viral. You should go viral. But at least the wreath community is embracing you in this design and enjoying it and using it. So that has been amazing. So when people started asking you about these particular designs, and you have said that you don't list them on your Etsy, but you will make them for people should they ask you. So how would they go about ordering something that you make but haven't listed?
So if anybody, if you want a balloon, it's not been listed, all sold out, hearts are not listed. If you want something, if you want me to create something for you, just message me. So message me over here on TikTok. If and my Etsy is also linked here. Message me on Etsy, and I'm pretty good in responding. And I do accommodate everybody's need. I try to, and so if I can, I would say I can. If only I can, I will say I can. If I cannot, I will say I'm so sorry, I can't do that. And I've always been honest what I can and what I cannot do.
Is
So
there a cutoff point? Like, is there going to be like a cutoff point where you're just like, either you can't get materials or stuff isn't available to you like it once was? I mean, is there going to be like a cutoff point? So if you want to place your order for something that I'm making, this is the cutoff.
So I do have all the supplies. So when if there's an uh, if there's a request that wants me to step out of my house and go look for it, I will ask for grace period. Before saying no, I'll say give me 2 days. Let me go look for it. If I can find it, then it is a yes, and I will tell you in 2 days. So at least give me 2 days time so that I can look, go and check the stores.
Oh,
Uh,
that is reasonable. That is super reasonable.
if I do have supplies, I know that I have supplies and I can craft a balloon or a heart for you. I'll say yes right away. If not, then I'll say, okay, you have to give me some time, so that I can go, look and check the stores and everything.
Right. And also, you have to remember her location, everybody. You have to remember that she is in Washington State. And depending on where you are, if you are across the country, you've got to give that time as well to get to you. So, knowing all of these things helps you decide or plan for ordering. You have to order and give enough time for her to, if she doesn't have those particular colors, to get the stuff, to then make it, and then for it to ship to you. Because there's just some requests that you're just like, I can't have this to you in 5 days. It's just not going to happen. It's just not possible. So I understand that. And that's one of the reasons. Okay, so let's get back to wreath making. Okay, because I know that that is something you love to do, something that you enjoy doing. When it comes to your wreaths, how often do you get custom orders and how do you work within that? Like, how do you work a custom order for yourself?
So I have made few customers clientele list from my previous orders, like the orders that they just found me on. So some of the designs that I listed, they got it from me, they liked it, they reached out to me. I do not get a lot of custom orders, just to be honest. But I do get the old customers. I mean, I don't know how to say that, but I do have a list of client, like, the people who like my designs, and they will reach out to me. Hey, I'm looking for this design. I've, I have like 4 or 5 people, and the new custom orders that I've got, those were from Etsy. They got a design was they were like, they were looking for the design and they saved it, or they were just, they were the design was in their card and sold out, and they was like, okay, it's sold out, but I really wanting to buy that, can you make it for me? And that's how it started. So I am not doing a lot of custom orders, but some of them here and there, and then most of them reached out to me through Etsy.
So they've been based on a previous design. So if somebody sees something, they liked it, they had it in their cart, it sold out, and then somebody wants you to recreate it. What happens, like, because a lot of us have materials that we purchased last year, the year before that, and you can't find it anymore. So some of them are a one and done. So how do you handle when that happens?
So that happens to me twice, where it was a previous design and I do not have it, and they are discontinued signs, or you don't find them. I will be honest and tell them that this was a previous design. I do not have it right now, but I'm more than happy to share the new signs with you. And this is what I did. It was a if I don't know if you remember, but it was a nutcracker wreath that I did, and so the large nutcrackers and the sign, I was not able to find that particular sign, and I looked on all the possible online stores, and I took a screenshot on them, the one that I think that would look good, and I shared with the person that this is what I have. If you like one of those designs, I'm more than happy to use it and to order that for you. You have to give me a 10 days of ordering time, and then as soon as it is here, I'll make sure that I'll ship it out within like 3 days of time. So you have to be very mindful of how much time you need, and just be genuine. Just let them know that this is the time you need. Um, but this is all I do. I do, if you are out of that particular ribbon, sign, or any such thing, just let them know that this was a previous thing. You don't have it, you don't find it online. You can order it, but then also provide them a substitute, that this is what I can do for you, or this is the combination that would look good. And I also ask the color of the door, or all the stuff, and if I think that, okay, this would not look the color combination that they're asking for, it's like, okay, we can go with the lighter shades of that particular color because the color of your door is this and all. So just work with your client.
So that sounds like, as a designer, Nidhi is walking the customer through the design process so that the customer is happy with A, not only just making something and being like, here you go, this is what you asked for, but she's walking the customer through, hey, this is how I would do it. As a designer, this is what I see, this is how I would do it. But it also creates that relationship with that customer where they know that, hey, I might think this stuff looks good, or I might think that this is what I want, but it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't anything like what I wanted. So that's creating that rapport, that relationship with that customer. So heck yeah, I'm gonna buy from her again because she took something that I liked that she doesn't have anymore, but she made me something that was unique to me. That's a huge thing too. People don't want to see the same thing. My neighbor has this one. I have this one. We all have the same thing. They don't want to see that. They want to be unique. They want their door to stand out, right? They want
Right,
their
and
decor to stand out.
that's true. And also, just because you do not have that particular thing, you don't want to say no. I mean, you have more than that one particular sign to offer to that client. So just be mindful that you can do more than that one thing. Like we are not just stuck with one design. As creators, as crafters, we can do so much more with so many different shapes and designs and colors. So you have so much more to offer. So if a person says, okay, this is what I need, just be humble, apologize that we don't have that. This is what I do. I just be honest with them, I don't have it. But that's not the only thing you need. There are so many different things that you can incorporate in your designs, include, respecting their need. So if they need something in one particular color, you can offer so many different designs in that particular color. So this is what I have, or this is what I can do for you. And they like that about you. And that's what the people like. If I have 5 people, they are because I go beyond and above and beyond for them, and I do provide them the things that they need, and I do not stop until I know that they're happy. Okay, I can
Okay,
go.
but here's this though, Nidhi. Have you ever had a customer say to you, I don't think that you are understanding what I want?
Yep. Yes. So I have one customer, and I was trying to explain the person that this would not look good in this design, but she was like, no, I want it, I want it, I want it. Work it out, I want this one. And I was like, okay, this is sometimes when you are as designers, we have, so I've been telling that everybody has their own style, own style, own style. Sometimes you have to put your style and hold on to your style and work according to the client's need. And I've tried to convince this is what our job is. That okay, this won't look good. But if a person is very adamant about, no, I want it to be this particular way, I would say just don't say no, no, I can't do it, this is not my done. I would just say be respectful for them. They are trusting you for something they want. Just go with their need, just be respectful and be honest that okay, I think from where I'm looking at, I think this is not looking good. But if the person says no, this is exactly how I need it, I would just say okay, I will do it for you. But if that's not your heart goes, I would not do it again for the person. And you'll be like,
Understood. Okay, so then you decide that that customer probably isn't the right customer for you.
right. But because
Okay.
I gave my words to that person, I said yes to the person, and he's waiting, and the person is waiting on you, or and it's just has a lot of expectations. I would not say, if I said yes, I'll stay on my commitments. But then I would think twice before saying yes again to that person. So I won't say that I will not go to that person. I will make sure this is exactly we are on the same page. And if she has a reason, if a person has a reason for that need, just be respectful, just honor that need. Okay, this is what your need is, and I'll so it you need to learn, you need to study your client too.
But it's hard, right? It's hard on both sides. But here's another question, because I know that this is somebody's like, oh, so basically the customer's trusting you to make them what they want. You don't feel like like you wouldn't feel like that's gonna work well. Have you ever had somebody say, oh, you were right, I don't like that?
Yes.
What do you do then?
I would say, okay, I can make changes around you, but it's gonna be because I will. So you spend time to convince them. You spend time to create what you were not interested to do it, but then you did it anyways because they wanted to do it. Now they want to make some changes around it. I would be honest and say, if you can make changes, I've made those changes in that design. I've pulled everything out and did it, but then I'll make sure that you let them know that your time is getting in there. It's like there was one design that I redo it like exactly from the scratch. And I told her that I am gonna do it, and this will be little more for what was your custom order, if you're okay with that. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. So you have to, it is hard sometimes. I've heard from the designers when they say they do not like custom orders because that stops their creativity and they have
Well,
to do
it,
something.
it goes both ways, because you as a designer have your style, right? Your name is on this design. And then there's the whole idea of a deposit. Is the customer going to give you enough of a deposit for you to cover your expenses? Because custom orders require sometimes things you don't have available. So how do you handle that? Taking in a do you take deposits?
I do not take deposits, but I would be moving forward because the incidents that I've had in past, that was a learning lesson to me. I had a person who said I'd do it, and I was like, okay, sure, can I place the order? And she's like, go, 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 blah, 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 and she never showed up. Never. So this that was a learning lesson for me. Okay, no more. Because when I was looking people the way I am. I was like, okay, if I say yes, if I have committed myself, I will be staying in my commitments, right? Not everybody is like that. So, and it was hard for me to do so. And from moving forward, I'm accepting orders only from the people I know. But if you're open, then I think I would be listing and saying this is the deposit and making a listing for it. So this is the particular amount you have to give it to me before, because I was moving ahead with their yes. I want it. I want you to work on it. And I made that full payment. Some of says that they deposit a full payment upfront. This is how
And
I
over here
learn.
they're saying custom orders make me nervous. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, okay? It's a good idea, okay? It's not a bad idea for repeat customers. If you have a repeat customer that has already been like a huge fan of yours, they love your designs, they love what you do, they are going to be a repeat customer. I think we have a little bit more grace for our repeat customers that say, these are the colors I'm looking for. This is what I want the sign to be. I trust you. I trust you in your design style. I love what you do. That's different,
Right.
right? That's different. But if
That is-
you have somebody that wants, like, okay, have you ever had this happen? They show you a wreath and they want you to make something similar.
Oh yes, so many times.
For how much of a budget, though? When they tell you how much they want to spend, you're like, it's impossible. I can't do that.
Have you seen those reels when the people will say, okay, they'll throw a base and a ribbon and a mesh on it, and that's what you got, but that's what you get in this budget. That is exactly what happened. Like, and I'm talking about my local people. They'll show me the designs that this is what I want, but and they'll cut out the price because they are getting that from Etsy, the picture screenshot, right, and the Pinterest. And as a designer, you know how much this wreath would be. And so for example, it was like 150 for example, and they'll say, okay, my budget is 50. And I was like, what? First, I will not be copying that design. This is not my design. I cannot do that. Yes, I can get inspired, the color combinations or the flowers that the person has used, or the sign, but I will not be copying this. Very clear. Second, budget. We really need to talk about it. Like, this is can be happening now. The local budget and then Etsy budget, of course, because you pay for Etsy and all that stuff, there might be little up and down, but there cannot be a difference of 100 cookies. Like, that is not possible. So sometimes you have to be graceful when you say no. It is hard,
It
but
is hard because you don't want to make somebody feel bad, but honestly, they don't know. They don't understand. They see the price and they think that we're price gouging, and we're not. We're very, very, very generous in our pricing. We do not try to gouge anybody. We are respectful of what people can afford, right? We're not trying to price gouge anybody, but be realistic in what you're asking.
right.
Be realistic in what you're asking. And I have had to tell people, I'm sorry, I cannot make it for that budget. Yeah, I can't make it for that budget. Now, Michael Marie on my side says that's why they do this versus that. This is what your budget will afford you, this is what you're asking for. It's a big difference. If you want this, I can make you this for that budget, but I can't make you this for that budget.
So a funny story I just want to share here. When I was starting out locally, so it was not when I was selling online, right? So it was back then. And I remember there was a person, a friends of friends, acquaintances, and she reached out to me. She's like, I'm looking for a housewarming wreath for herself, and the budget is 40 cookies. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I really need it done by tomorrow. And I was like, what? And she's like, I know you. That person told me that you can do it, you can make it work, and please do it for me. And I was like, okay, hold on. What? Like, there are so many ifs and buts in this. Like, first, the cookies, you need it tomorrow. I do not have supplies for that. But my housewarming is tomorrow. I get it. I understand it. I'm so sorry. I can't. What can you do? What can you make it? Do you have anything that you can make it tonight so that I can have it done tomorrow up morning? It should be up on my door. And I was like, yes. So for this budget, I can make you a frame. That's what it goes, and this is how it's gonna look. And I was not being disrespectful. I was understanding her needs, and I was like, okay, this is what you get in this much. And she was like, are you serious? This is not even a reason. I was like, exactly. You have to understand, like, it is very hard for others. They don't get it. And I know
They don't. I had to take a friend shopping with me. I had to take, and we went to Walmart. And I said, okay, go pick out everything that you think you want in a wreath. Go pick out everything, the way you want it, everything you want in a wreath. And I said, okay, now let's add all of this up. And you don't have a wreath form yet. You don't, and all she said to me was, oh, I'm like, exactly. Now you see, I am not trying to price gouge you. I am out there scouring. I am out there scouring, looking, trying to get the best products so that I don't have to be ridiculous in my prices. I am doing all that work. But understand what you're asking me is not reasonable. It's not reasonable and it can't be done. But if you can do it for that price, more power to you. I really, really, really think more power to you. A lot of creators started having their pictures that they post taken, and then people were buying stuff like on, I think it was Amazon. People were buying stuff on Amazon, like the Highland cows, and then they showed what they got because you thought that you could get something for literally nothing. That is why that happened to you.
yeah,
Because
they will get the combination of colors with that flat something and a hideous bow and all that stuff. And it is there. I think Timu too.
I'm like,
Timu,
sorry, that's not gonna work. That's not what I do. I am not here to, if I'm gonna put my name on it, it's going to be my style, my design for you. That is what's going to happen. But in everything that everybody does, everybody runs their business their way. Okay. So you, as individuals that are doing this, have to run your business your way. And Nidhi will tell you that too. Do what works for you and be comfortable saying no. Please be comfortable saying no. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I have said this several times. I am a recovering people pleaser. The only time that people pleasing works for me is in this business. I want to make my customer happy. I do, but not at the expense of what it's going to cost me. I don't think that's fair to ask of anybody. I don't think that's fair to ask of anybody.
and
Okay.
I would just like to add that it is not you cannot please everybody. You cannot make everybody happy, and you should know as a person, as an individual, forget about a crafter or a business owner, as a person too, it's very difficult to make everybody happy. Just it is not possible.
And it's okay to say no. Like, I honestly, there have been times that people have come to me for a design. Hey, do you make blank? And I know what it would take, like what I have to get in order to make blank. But there's somebody in my wreath community that I already know does blank. And I'm like, I can, but it will take me longer, but you can go get it right now from this person. Because sometimes that's worth it to me. You know what I mean? It makes the customer happy. The customer's happy they got what they wanted, and it didn't lose. I didn't lose face because of it because I solved the problem for them. They needed something, they wanted it, and it would take me time, but they could have it right now from this person. I have gained more customers that way because they can trust me that if I can make it, I will make it. But if I can't for some reason, it will take me longer. Or how many times have you gone to look for something and that particular sign you were thinking about is sold out? It's completely so like I know what you're looking for, but I can't get it. But this person has it. This person has made something. Go see if you like that. And you know what I mean? That's part of being in a community that continues lifting each other up, that continues supporting one another. You know, that's what's important to me is to be part of a community that we can grow with, that we can grow within. Okay? Huge, huge, huge. Okay. So, Nidhi, going forward, are you going to be offering more attachments? Are you going to be offering more attachments to the community? Can we look for like an Easter attachment from you or a 4th of July attachment from you? Are these things that you're planning to do in the future?
I would say yes, because the groups that I joined, those so the intention behind joining those groups, the Read Attachment group that I'm in, it was not for me to sell. It was for me to learn and use it in my own designs. But since the love that I'm getting, I think the answer is yes.
That's super exciting because if you know Needy and you see Needy, she'll take something and she'll think about it. And then all of a sudden you see this beautiful thing come and you're just like, wow, I did not know, like, I didn't know hearts could be that beautiful, honestly. You have made such beautiful hearts. Every one that I've seen you make is as beautiful, if not more so beautiful than the last one.
Aw, thank you.
So we support this. We support this. The community loves your work. So keep doing that, keep inspiring that. Now, if a creator has an idea for a design, like they have an idea, but they themselves either don't have the time, don't have the patience to figure it all out. Is that something you're willing to do is work with a designer to create something?
I think yes. Why not? Of course, why not? Like if
You
there's,
heard it here first.
yep,
You heard
right.
it here first. She's willing to work with designers that have an idea for an attachment. And if that's not your thing, if that's not something that you see yourself doing, she's willing to work with a designer. So that's awesome. That's awesome. It's good to know because it makes wreath making more unique because we all shop at the same places for the same signs. We all shop at the same places for the things that we use in our designs. So anything that we can do to be a little bit different, to be a little bit more unique, to stand out a little bit more, that's what we're all looking for, right? And if we can partner with somebody, and this is why the community again is so important. If you can partner with somebody to create things, how amazing is that? You both benefit.
True. It's a win and win. Win win.
Win-win, she says. Win-win. That's amazing. Good to know. All right, so 2024 is around the corner, my friend. You saw that look. We all feel it. We all know, right? What do we
Already.
have to look forward to from Needy coming in 2024? What are things that you are gearing towards, that you're working towards?
So I think I am a person with short term. I believe in short term goals. It's just the person that I am, right? I can't plan for 2 years ahead of me. I plan for a week or two, and I think for 2024 I would be just keep going, putting one step in front of another, as I said before, go with the flow. And I will be crafting and having fun with you guys over here. But I think I will be soon starting going live on other platforms too. So
Talk more
be
about that.
Facebook,
What are you looking at going live on?
Facebook.
Okay.
So I
You know
think
you can't use music over there, right?
I know.
That's one of the things that I have had to work on and get over because on Facebook, obviously, we all know that even though you've gone live, it replays. So that's a place for other people to come and see you and get to know you and learn from you and become a customer of yours. That's a good place to do that. So Facebook, Needy, be looking for Needy going live on Facebook. I'm excited for that. And she said short-term goals. So she is not a 1 and 2 and 3 year planner. She's more of what am I going to get done in the next couple of weeks, which I think has a lot to do with also your phase in life because you do have young children. And I think it's easier to go with the flow and that kind of things and be more forgiving towards yourself when you know that your priorities are in line, right?
And I'm also looking forward to go back to work and all that stuff. So there's a lot going on. So
You're
it
going
is.
back to teaching.
I'm going back to work. Yes, I will be soon. So it is a lot. There'll be a lot of things coming up. So I think I will continue working ahead and just making good designs and showing up at least, if not more than at least what I've been doing. So and I think the only thing that I need to prepare before I start going live on Facebook is that I have to work on my skills. So putting things together on one place, like I don't want to be there. Okay, I'll be back, and then it's like, okay, the people watching me after after that live, and I was like, oh gosh, you
But
are. What are you doing?
I think that you're on the right track with that because you've already said you just need to plan better. So that means that maybe you don't make some of your bigger things, right? To start, maybe you make some of your attachments because I hate to point out to you, you do finish all your attachments. You do like from start to finish, you do finish your attachments, and that might be how you start on Facebook is you finish your attachments and that's how you start and that's how you introduce yourself. And then when you can like when you can actually plan a wreath from beginning to end, like you can plan it out and you have everything you need, that's when you start doing wreaths on Facebook.
True.
That's but that way you're not putting so much pressure on yourself, friend, because I absolutely respect, adore, and love the way you do things because you're so real to you. You are so authentic to yourself, and I love that about you. So don't change that aspect about yourself because it's one of those things that draw people to you. That is why you have people that love watching you is because you are so real to you. So don't change, okay? No changing Needy. Needy's great the way Needy is. All
I
right,
think if you're
so
gonna go on Facebook, you're gonna miss my dance moves, because there'll be no music.
you don't dance without music. You're not going to make people think you're a little loopy. It's okay.
Yeah,
We can
just
dance. Look, we're here now. We can dance without music. You don't need music. There's music playing in your head 24/7. I don't know. Recently, one of the other designers was having a hard time getting their music to connect because they were having Wi-Fi issues. So I jokingly said to them, "I'll just sing lyrics in your chat while you're on." And every time she saw some lyrics pop up, she would laugh because honestly, I mean, if nothing else, because I have undiagnosed ADHD, I do. I revert back to that in my own head. Like I have songs playing in my head all the time because it's an easy thing to grab onto to stay focused. Because that's what I need to stay focused. I need to have music lyrics going on in my head, and that's okay. Except you for you, right? Except you for you.
absolutely.
All right, Nidhi, we're down to 20 minutes. We only have 20 minutes left. Can you believe we've almost talked for 2 hours?
That's
Has it felt
awesome.
like 2 hours?
No, not at
Oh,
all.
I know, it's crazy. I told you, I'm just sitting in your house. We're just talking crafting. So, as far as the community is concerned, the community as a whole, I always believe that as a group, we are a body, right?
Right.
We're a whole body. We need hands, we need feet, we need heads, we need ears, we need eyes, we need all parts of the body, okay? And I see myself as the person that is the connection point. Like I can connect connect people. I can show people how to do the things that they want to do without putting so much pressure on themselves. Like, hey, I don't teach this, but I know somebody who does. I can't show you this, but I know somebody who does. So, what part of the community do you feel that you fit into?
Um, so I think the same way as you said, when people ask me from where, so when I'm live, when I'm working, when I am out there in front of people, I like to answer every single question. Not every single question, but if the answers that I have, I would love to tell them. So there's like, okay, from where did you get the mesh? From where did you get the ribbons? From where do you find the attachments? My intentions are never to hide anything. If I am, this is what I chose. I chose to be out there in front of people. I am crafting. If I have some secrets that I don't want to share from where I have got my stuff, I will choose not to do it in front of people, right? So this is just me, and I think if I am pulling out stuff and I showing them, oh, look at the ribbon, this is so pretty, and then if you don't want to share from where did you get that ribbon, that's not me. So if I have something I don't want to show, or if I don't want to tell them, I probably won't use it in front of people. So this is how I am. And by being a part of this community, if you are sharing the other small businesses you shop for, you're being responsible and you are actually being a part of this community, right? So this is how I believe in. If I got a sign from craft outlet, I do not, because there are people who are just wanting to start out, who are still shopping from Walmart, from locals, from Dollar Tree. They want to learn and they are watching me because they want to learn, or they like the sign, and they would of course gonna ask from where do you get it. And I have no secrets. I am a very honest person. If I don't know, like the last time I think someone asked me from where did you get the lips, and I was using it in my design. I was like, I got it from Etsy from last year, so I really don't remember the name, but you can find them on Etsy because this is the season. And look on Etsy, look on Amazon, because I got it from online. But I would just say that I don't. I always say that I got it from here. I got it from here, and from the places I've shopped. I'm all, by all means, I'm wanting to put their names out. So I think by this, as you said, you redirect them to the teachers. I redirect them to the small owners. uh, Etsy, there are so many places, there are so many small owners out there who are trying to fit in, who are trying to build their business. So if you shop from small businesses, redirect them, because you're support this way we are just supporting each other.
Well, because we want to keep these people in business.
Of course. So
We
if
want to keep them in business. So by sharing where you shop, it's actually keeping that person in business, which benefits you too because you want to shop from them. So it's a perpetual thing, and I agree with you, Nidhi. I agree with you in the sense that if you can share where you buy your items, like sometimes people say, and I've said it too, I buy from all over. I shop sales. That's
yeah,
Claudia. I shop sales. If somebody has a good sale on quality mesh, hello, I'm here for it all day long. If you can get the basics, the basic needs for your designs. I love working with mesh. I probably will always work with mesh. That's how I started. That's probably what I will always work with. I like what you can do and the many different things you can do based on the colors, the color palettes that you can have, the design palettes that you can have. So I love mesh. So if there's a sale on mesh, you better believe that I'm sharing that sale after I shop, of course, because I don't want you guys running out, or I don't want them running out of the stuff I want. So I'm going to shop first and then I will share. But those are the type of things that I feel as a community we need to be good about. We
true.
need to be good about it. So when I receive a shipment in, I started writing on the ribbon, on the mesh, where I got it from. I just put initials. So if I get it from Craft Outlet, it says CO. So I write the initials on there. That way, when somebody asks me, that's how I know. It's not because I remember, because goodness, I do not remember, but I do write it on there so that I can tell people, hey, I got it from here. but I
True.
can't help you if I got it last year. If I got this last season, more than likely you're not going to find it this season.
Right.
So those are things that we do in order to help our community. So she's a helper.
I'm a helper. And I understand when if somebody is not wanting to tell you the name, I understand their intentions that they don't want their design to get, common or whatever the intention is. And I too respect their way of working too. But my working is different than, somebody else's. The way I talk, the way I share information might be different what how you share the information or whatever it is. So it is, I'm not by any ways, I'm not wanting to demean anybody or hurt their feelings or whoever it is, but I'm just saying that it was not helpful for me when I was starting out. It didn't help me out. So if I was, my intentions were not that I just want to copy the design. My intention was like, from where do you get this beautiful stuff or all this thing? And it took me a while, but I learned. So I said, I just say that if you have the thirst to learn and to craft more, you will figure it out anyways, right? From here, maybe not today, maybe after 2 weeks, one month, but you'll figure it out if you'll be a part of the community. So
Okay, and here's another thing. Like you said, this is how you do it, right? But you don't disrespect or think anything wrong with the people that don't share. Like there's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's nothing wrong with it because they've done their homework. They figured it out. They've done their homework, okay? What we're saying is that don't get upset if if you don't have cookie cutter creators. If like in my life, this is what I do. Okay, this is what I do in my life. You come to my live, you know that I'm going to encourage people to follow each other because getting to 1,000 followers is very hard. So I encourage people, hey, you're like-minded. If you're watching me, you guys all love watching wreath makers or are a wreath maker, and it doesn't hurt to follow each other. It doesn't cost anything. Follow each other. Okay, so there's that. But don't go into somebody else's live expecting the same thing. We're not cookie cutter creators, so don't expect our lives to be cookie cutter either. Respect the creator, respect the live. They do what works for them. They
exactly.
do what works for them, and what they're doing is great. So enjoy it, be part of it. And when you go live, you create your own way of being and your own live. Be
Yeah,
yourself, be what works for you. Right, Nidhi?
absolutely. Yes.
Because I don't know anybody like Nidhi. I
Aw.
don't. She is, like I said, she is so kind and so thoughtful and so helpful. Not saying other people aren't, but I don't expect Needy to be like somebody else. That is not healthy, guys. That is not healthy. So let Needy be Needy. Let Claudia be Claudia. You know what I mean? Let us be ourselves. Let us fully enjoy being on here and being part of the community. Because that's another thing people compare themselves. I'm not so and so. I'm not as fast as so and so. I can't do two things at one time. I can't read the chat and create at the same time. I've heard that a lot too. So don't. Do you. Do what's comfortable for yourself. How you do it doesn't matter. It matters more that you do it.
Absolutely. That's right. Yeah, and someone mentioned that if you and then you when you run low, you know where to go and replace it. So that's why we share that, okay, I'm running low and I really want to try this new item. So they ask questions and I would prefer to answer them. If I have an answer, of course I'll say. If I don't, I do say that leave me a message. I don't have an answer right now, but I'll get back to you.
And there's also how many times has a creator gone live and they're making things, right? They're making several of these things, but then their well has run dry. They don't have any, they can't go get these things. How many times have creators gotten messages going, but my store has it. I can send them to you. That is what part of being in this community is, guys. We are helping each other. We are sharing with each other. We are celebrating one another. And that's why more of you need to participate in this because it's a good feeling to know that you're not alone. It's a good feeling to know that you're not alone. Are there any other questions on your side of the chat that you want to go through and see if you can share?
All I remember is someone asking about do not forget mention the shipping or touch base the shipping item. The shipping. How do I ship? I use pirate ship. So that's what I use to ship. I have two different boxes that I order from Amazon, and I use them. Um, I also save. Okay, this is something very important. I just want to mention if you have bought a wreath attachment from me or any small item from me, you will see I recycle so many boxes, Amazon boxes or something. And I like to recycle those boxes too. So if you can, save those boxes. I have a place dedicated and I save those boxes. But I usually, for my wreaths, I buy my boxes from Amazon. I have two or three different sizes that I have, and I use pirate ship. That's what I do.
Are you willing to share what sizes you use?
I use 20, I have three sizes, 24 by 24 by 8. I have 26 by 26 by 10. And then there's a different size that I have for the swags. I think it is 30 by 26. Everything is from Amazon. 30 by 20, 24 or 22. If you need to know the size, I can message you. But
There you go.
yeah, message. If you need
See,
to know the size that I've used, I don't remember exactly right now.
it's okay.
I have size for swags and two different reed boxes for different size of reeds.
Here's something you can share, Nidhi, which might help people decide what size box they need. Okay, so how do you measure your design to know what box to use?
So I just measure the size of the wreath, and then I prefer the box that is a little more bigger than my wreath is. So if you're using the 24 inches base, your wreath's gonna be like around 28 or something when it's done. So I prefer to get 30 or 26. You'll see that. How do I say? You'll figure it out. My sizes, so when I use my 26 by 26 by 8-inch boxes, they are perfect for my wreaths. And I use them, and none of my bows get squished or nothing. It's just perfect and sits nicely, and I tie them nicely. And I also put the loops. I also shove the paper and the tissue papers and all that stuff, the wrapping paper, so that the bow doesn't get squished. So this is how I ship. It's a work of the day.
But that's how she has figured out shipping for herself. So if you're thinking to yourself, that sounds like a lot. That sounds like so much. Well, so just so you know, the things that will get squished in a box are bows. Um, so if you aren't comfortable with doing the extra space for whatever reason, because the size of the box does determine the shipping cost. It's not the weight of the wreath, it's the size of the box, okay? So this is how Needy does it, how she's sharing that she does it. Not every designer ships the same way, guys. So just know that each designer has their own way of shipping. But I'll tell you what, you want the reaction of the person opening that box to be wow.
Mhm.
That's what you want. You want them to have that wow moment. So then they can be confident. You know what? They're going to think, you know who's going to want this? My mother would love this. And she doesn't live near me. So I'm going to ship one to her. That's how that happens because of that feeling. You want that emotional feeling, that emotional connection to that item. You want the wow factor. And that's something you have to decide for yourself. I can't tell you how many times I've had a friend order from me and I've told them, okay, so I'm shipping it to Florida. You need to show me what it looks like when you open it. I need to see what it looks like when you open it. And they think it's weird. And I'm like, you don't understand. Based on how it traveled, I may need to adjust what I'm doing. So I need to know how it traveled. I need to know how it arrived. so that I can adjust my stuff. So use your friends and family that way. Just saying, just use your friends and family that way so that you can be comfortable to know that that person receiving that item is going to get that wow.
Yes. And I would just like to share something that I've done in past too. So when I was not using the giant boxes, I used to, so when I knew that my bow was gonna squish and all these things, I was sending the care instructions, and it will say that if you think the bows are squished or something, I will mention the instructions how to fluff them. So this is what I've done, but then later I've learned that okay, that's not a good idea. It's a lot of work for the person, for me
Because
too.
sometimes when you get the picture, you're just like, oh my gosh, that does not look like the way it left my house.
Yeah. Initially, I did that way. So, knowing the box because I was trying to save money on the shipping because I always offer free shipping. But then I've learned my way out to just, I would prefer to spend 10 cookies more than letting my client do all that stuff, all the hard work. So,
Yep.
but
I say if I could teach my husband how to fluff a bow, I can teach anybody how to fluff a bow.
But honestly, sometimes no matter how well you have packed it,
Yep.
sometimes things will get squished, and it's okay. And I think most of whoever is ordering that design from you, they'll understand unless they are like super fuzzy about it, and then you need you'll learn how to deal with that.
So did that answer the question about shipping? Does anybody have any additional questions about shipping? Like I said, we are here to help the community. If there's anything that we can share in part, I also use Pirate Ship. I'm not familiar with any others, but there are several third-party shipping people that will use we don't recommend you go into the UPS store. We do not recommend that you walk into the post office. I've heard horror stories of people spending 65 cookies to ship. No, that the answer is a hard no. And always measure the outside of your box once it's closed to get your measurements. Don't assume that a 24 by 24 by 8 box, don't put those measurements in there. Just because it fit in there doesn't mean that that's the measurement of your box. So always remeasure your box and put the actual measurements in, because Pirate Ship will come back and charge you if it was bigger than what you put in.
I was about to say that I do use pirate ship, and there's so many times that when I was learning about pirate ship, I was overcharged and I didn't know why, and then and save your receipts because sometimes pirate ship just you know um, charge me for nothing. Like say the weight of the box was 20 lbs, and I was like, no, it was not 20 lbs because I have the receipt, and I'll take the picture and I send it to them, and they'll refund me the fund. So if you are beginning as a beginner, I still save all my receipts because you never know when pirate ship's gonna overcharge you for
Or
that.
when anybody's going to overcharge you. Somebody said so never go to UPS, really. Never put it through like never go there to pay for shipping, because it will be more expensive than using a third party. Third party people have already negotiated prices with everybody that you use. They've already negotiated prices. So if you're going to use a third party shipper, I print out my label here at home. I measure my box, I weigh my box here at home. I will take it to a UPS store. You know why? Because they will then put the box on the weight thing and give me the receipt.
Right.
So to say, okay, we've received it, and this is how much it was when we received it. So that will help you. So yes, I would not walk into a post office. I would not walk into a UPS store to ship, especially the things that we ship, because they're big. They're big boxes, guys. So use
I
a
have
third party shipper because they've already done the work. So somebody asked, how do you set up shipping up through Etsy with Pirate Ship? Through Pirate Ship, you can hook up your Etsy. You can hook it gives you an option at the top, and it pulls all the address information from Etsy to Pirate Ship. So I don't have to re-enter information.
So this is something I didn't know. So I'm learning this. I do use pirate ship, but then each time I go and open the pirate ship in my browser and I put everybody's address, I just copy paste it from Etsy and put it in my browser. And I but there's something which I've learned that um, I think there's more. There are so many third parties, shipment companies, and I've tried Parcel Path too. So Parcel Path and Pirate Ship was like more or less the same, and I chose to stay with Pirate Ship.
There's also Shippo. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them out there. See, there's ShipStation. There's a bunch of them out there. Just do what works for you. That's what a third party shipper is, Chopper. We're talking about Pirate Ship that's a third party shipper, Parcel Path, Shippo, ShipStation. Those are all third party. Yeah, there's a lot of third parties. But that's our time, Needy. It's already 1 o'clock. Isn't that
Woo!
crazy?
Yes, it
It's one
is. It
o'clock for me, 11 a.m. for her. I thank you so, so much for this time, Needy. Thank you for seeing the value of Real Talk and joining me for this conversation. I started Real Talk a couple of weeks ago, like maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago, out of a need for the community to have a place where they can talk to other creators and get a lot of answers to their questions about, what we do, how we do it, and all of those things. And Real Talk just came to life. So other creators have seen the importance of it and have been gracious enough to join me in these conversations. And if you didn't catch the whole thing today, I do post them to YouTube in my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to find them right there by clicking on links. So go ahead and follow on YouTube. And typically the Real Talk that I have on Friday will show up on YouTube the following Monday. So be looking for that. Nidhi will be posted on Monday. So thank you so much, Nidhi. Have a glorious day. I hope that you plan on going live sometime today so that people can come experience just how
So
wonderful you are.
no, I would really like to thank you for doing this and having me over and letting me speak my heart out. And this is beautiful. It is a lovely initiation that you're doing. It is wonderful. I cannot tell you how happy I am right now. It's all done, but I was so nervous in the beginning. But you were always there, and I know I have so many people who were just supporting me in the comment section, and they're watching me. So thank you everybody for the follow, for the likes. You even don't know how much it means to the creators like us. When you follow, like, or subscribe, or like not subscribe, I'm using the YouTube
You
channel.
subscribe?
I mean the follow. So that means a lot. And then we are just here to be ourselves, to craft, and if we can inspire you, if we can, you know, help you anyways. Me and Claudia, and there's so many other designers who are there, always supportive. So thank you so much for being there
And
for
just so
us.
you know, guys, I do offer this for anybody who's in the community. Anybody can join me. I do this on Fridays from 11 to 1, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central, because that is my time zone. But if you want to join me, just let me know. If you're available on a Friday and you want to come and have a conversation based on your experience to talk about the things that you've learned for the benefit of the community, please join us on Fridays here on Real Talk, okay?
Just
So
message
just let me
Claudia.
know.
Message her.
Yes,
This,
message
this
me.
is how I reached out to her. She just posted an open thing that if you want to be, if you want to stay connected, and was like, okay, I would, but I am, and I did mention that to her that who is gonna watch me? I do not have enough followers. I have only few, and she's like, go for it. That's fine. And here I
It
am.
doesn't matter because we can all learn from each other, guys. We can all learn from each other. So thank you again, everybody, for participating, and we will see you around TikTok.
We will. Bye. Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you, everybody.
guys. She just disconnected from me.